At Simformer, we seek to provide business simulations that are meant for the development of practical skills and are used both for online and on-site trainings as well as automated assessment. Why such a focus on a practical skill development? The answer is very simple. This is the core issue both in academical and corporate sectors. Now, if we take a higher education training structure, we'll see that mostly it's theory-based and usually has lack of business skill development activities. As a result, we see that mostly students are unable to join active workforce and business has to train them additionally, which means expenses. And that means that there is a series of issues breaking the connection between the business and academia in general. A similar issue can be seen in corporate training as well. When the training, however expensive, is hardly focused on hard skill development as well as hardly scalable. And if we speak about online courses, usually they have low engagement, low efficiency, and hardly form skills either. Skills are usually developed when a student or a manager faces reality, has opportunity to experiment and make mistakes, and naturally that means losses for real business. Then, when there is a fear of mistakes, there is a series of issues following that, as cross-functional interaction issues, resistance to change, as well as tunnel vision, and then misunderstanding of the value chain overall. As a result, question appears: so how do we solve that at Simformer? Well, the answer is quite a simple one. We take the knowledge, give a necessary environment in the business simulation in order to practice that knowledge, and as a result, we have a certain skill set developed. Edgar Dales, in his Cone of Learning, pointed out that imitation of real activity is one of the most efficient ways to pass on knowledge, as well as pass on skills. And if we'll look at the prognosis of 5 years analyzing the learning technology products, we will see that simulation-based and game-based solutions are the top growing. That's how we do it here at Simformer. We take a learning management system, an environment necessary to pass on theoretical knowledge in a variety of contents. Then the participant has to access Simformer Business Simulation and complete various tasks there by managing virtual company. In order to customize the simulation to be as close as possible to the educational content that is provided in the LMS, we use Simformer Business Simulation developer tools, the necessary component in order to customize a variety of different simulations to match the content. And as a result, in Simformer Marketplace, we can place a variety of different simulations and courses where theoretical content is combined with practical tasks within the Simformer Business Simulation. Here in Simformer LMS, we can choose one of the products to review the structure of it. As mentioned previously, here we have access to Simformer Business Simulation, but also we can see that there is a lot of video and graphical textual content provided in order to support the experience, as well as give additional tasks. When we go into the simulation, we have to remember that a participant will receive a virtual business company to manage. All the typical business processes will have to be taken care of. Decisions will need to be made. And when we speak about Simformer Business Simulation, we have to take in consideration one important moment. We're not talking about a small temporary simulation. We're talking about a simulated business environment with over 40 countries and 400 cities to do business in. And when we speak about different countries, we're not just speaking about names, we're talking about their different macroeconomical data also, which means total area, population, cities, tax rate. And if we go deeper, we will see that each city has also different indicators. And when we are speaking about Simformer Business Simulation, we also have to remember that it's not only the huge amount of countries that is provided, but also a huge amount of products, starting with natural resources, then going into materials and semi-products that can be produced, as well as agricultural products, foodstuff, consumer goods, and so on and on and on. A huge variety of business units is also available in order to produce those goods. Over the process of training, a rating is provided in order to be sure what your position in the group is. This is a good competitive motivator to achieve better results. And finally, instructor account will allow the coach to choose different settings for a different group. As we can see, there's a huge amount of different business games already. Choosing a different template will decide what kind of starting business the student will receive, as well as what kind of business unit the students will be able to open. Are we talking about a very open world, or are we talking about a certain scale down industry only? The same thing can be told about geographical limitations, as well as will the whole group be open to a virtual economy that can be found in Simformer Business Simulation or not? And also, a variety of independent suppliers will be created in order to match the game scenario and also the conditions to be either more favorable or more challenging. As you already saw, we have a pretty huge amount of different simulations developed, and we can split them in two categories depending on what kind of needs our clients have. We can scale down into one industry, we can combine a couple of industries if it's necessary. We also can focus on certain business functions in the context of overall business management as such. What is important in this situation? How we can use even the same games to create added value for our clients, and what kind of problems we can solve. So different kind of clients have different kind of needs, and that is quite critical. Different needs, different kind of business models, different solutions. And if we take a closer look what kind of value we can create for major segments. Here at Simformer, we're looking forward to develop solutions that are not just there to cut costs, but also increase efficiency and also to solve problems or give opportunities.